Hi, everyone, good morning. This is Mike from Hyatt and Company Real Estate, bringing you your 10 steps to buying a home right from the beach. Guess where I'm at? I'm at the beach. Yeah, no, I wish. Um, but anyways, I hope you're doing well, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, step number one is to save for a down payment. Um, any offer that you make would be contingent on an EMD, earnest money deposit payment, good faith deposit, which is typically 1% of the purchase price. So if it's 400,000, that would be a $4,000 EMD. Um, so you're going to want to make sure that you've got, that you have that available, whether it be from a gift, from a family member, or yourself. So that's one piece of the funding you're going to need. And then any down payment or closing costs money. You might need that as well. Now we can always ask for some of that back from the seller, but we don't usually get 100% of it. So just make sure you can secure some down payment money. I make a really range anywhere from three to $20,000, depending on the size of the home and your situation in lending. Whether it's an FHA loan, you can put down less. If it's a conventional loan, you're going to put down more. So anyway, just want to secure that. Step two would be is to know your credit score. Um, a lot of folks skip that part and they like to jump right into step five, and they're not even credit worthy. So unfortunately, these lend unless you're paying all cash. If you're an investor or you're have the ability to pay all cash, then obviously you can skip step two. Um, but 99% of the folks I work with are not paying cash. So you want to make sure you know your credit score. Typically, you want to be around a 600 or hopefully much better. 650 to 750 is a better situation, better rates. But a 600 might kind of squeak you in, but a higher rate. But anyway, you want to know your credit score. Start that process and see what yours is. You want to pull all three bureaus as well: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Don't just pull one because you want to get a conglomerate of all three and to kind of see what your real score is. Um, just step three would be to find an agent, hopefully like me. An agent, not all agents are created equally. Just to let you know, 85% of the agents out there close less than four to five deals a year. That's 85%. It's probably not the folks you're going to want to be working with. Not that they're not good people, but it's probably not a priority. It might be part-time for them and they have another job or career and they might not be available as much. I'm closer to 12 a year myself, so I'm above that group. But find a good agent. It's kind of like marriage, really. I mean, not anybody won't do, right? I mean, so you need to find someone that you want to work with and that can really help you. So that's key. Very important to find the right agent. Step four, getting pre-approved through that agent. They might have some lender resources for you. Maybe you have your own. But based on number two, getting your credit score, we want to know how much you're qualified for, because we can kind of back into how much of a house you can afford. A lot of folks skip that one as well, and they want to go look at $500,000 properties, but they're only qualified for 200. That just happened to me recently. Just happened to me. Her scenario was she was qualified for about 165 and she didn't want to be anywhere below 330. And as of right now, she's still renting because there's nothing I can do for her right now. So you want to make sure we know what you're qualified for. That is key. Um, Step five, once we know that and you're pre-approved, then we go looking. We go house hunting. We try to find your next home. And that could mean most folks don't find their next home on the first showing. It's very rare, 5% of the time. So we may end up seeing 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 homes over a period of multiple weeks, and that's okay. People buy emotionally, and then they justify it logically. You want to feel the vibe. You want to feel that. I had a client once that didn't go to the house, wanted to make an offer, um, and it just didn't work out for him. You want to make sure you go to the property and feel that vibe. Do I want to pull back the blinds and do I want to look at these people across the street for the next 10 years or whatever it is? So you want to feel that vibe. That's very, very important. Moving on to step 6, if we find a home that we do like, we want to make an offer. We want to make an offer that we think would be worthy of getting ratified. Ratified means signed. Um, so, that's the agent's role, is to help you kind of find that sweet spot and what the right price is. Do we want to ask for seller concessions or not? How long the property's been on the market? Um, there's a lot of who the other agent is. There's a lot of variables that go into putting that offer together. It's not super cookie cutter, as some people may think. And then once we get ratified or signed, then typically the inspection process starts. We want to get a structural inspection done to make sure that the house is the bones are good. We're not looking for anything cosmetic. The seller's not going to fix that anyway. And if I was selling your house, you wouldn't fix it either. So we're looking for structural issues, electrical issues, the HVAC is not functioning, things like that, the bones. I mean, that needs to be resolved. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Roof, that's an issue. If the inspector says the roof has got major problems, then we need to talk to the seller about getting some money back or concessions or fixing it. We probably don't want them fixing it because they're going to fix it as cheap and as little as they want. You probably want to hire your own contractors, and I can help you with that. But going through the inspection process, getting the home appraised by our lender, that's the next step. We've got to make sure that it appraises for the offer amount, the list price. And that's why we don't want to go over too much, because we need to make sure that it appraises for that. So that's important. If you have an HOA, if the property has an HOA, then we have to go through the HOA documents together. And that could be a deal breaker. I haven't had that break for any of my clients yet, but it could be. Not all, like agents, not all HOAs are created the same. Some are very lousy, and some are much better. So you want to find out how much money they have in reserves, and if there's a lot of turnover in that particular neighborhood, then that's something to consider. But if there are no HOAs involved, then we can move right on to number 9, and hopefully settle. Right? Typically, it takes 30 days to settle, depending on your lender. They call it clear to close. Sometimes we can get that done in maybe 27 days or 25. Sometimes it takes 35, but 30 is a nice average. And then after that, or same afternoon, as long as there's not a rent back. Sometimes sellers need a rent back, and that basically means they need more time to move. And that usually is because they're buying a house. They have a house to sell, the one you're buying, and then they have to find a home. So there's a contingency involved. So they might need a 2-week rent back. I've seen that. That's happened to a couple of my clients. And you charge them a rental fee for that. They're not living there for free. So for a couple of weeks or a month, they pay you a rent back, and you're kind of giving them some more time to get their affairs in order and basically move out. So, and then you get the key, and then you're in. So that's the process. Again, if you have a good agent, they can remove the stress. That's the goal, and walk you through all of these steps and make sure that you're represented well. That's our fiduciary responsibility to a buyer, is to make sure that you are stress-free and that you're taken care of. Well, anyways, that's all the 10 steps. If you have any questions about that, feel free to give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. If you're looking to buy in 2026, let me know. We can put together a plan and make that happen for you. So, all right, folks. Well, you have a great weekend. Happy July 4th, and God bless. All right, bye.